Okay.
Well, are you
Okay.
excited, Miss Wren? Well, or
Mix.
are
Okay.
you excited,
Yeah, I
Miss Wren?
guess. I never really thought about what the honorific would be. A storyteller?
Storyteller?
Story
That's
master?
what
I don't
that's
know.
what we all are in some capacity.
I'm
But
the key master.
luckily, you have the greatest capacity among us. You've maxed
Any
out your STs.
Yes.
Anyway, hello, welcome to the party. That's probably a really good introduction to the tone of your next 3 hours of your life. Um, we, us six wonderful, some of us strangers to each other, but soon will not be, slight weirdos, are about to play a game called Michtim Fluffy Adventures. It is a game by an Austrian developer named George Mir, and I hope I didn't botch that, but they are a really cool NB, uh, just cool queer dude, and I'm very excited to showcase their work. And I'm very excited too that Welcome to the Party is letting me bring my shenanigans here because I have been a community member for a little while, kind of like dabbling in the Discord, and now I'm here and I'm on your screen. And Throck might regret this.
In the phone.
Anyway, we're gonna thank the sponsors, Roll20, who has made it very easy for me to run this game. Tabletop Loot, who make really cool dice, and I have way too many of their dice. So Nerdware, which is run by Maddie, who I love, and he's a really good DM, and we're playing a game together soon, and I'm very happy. And Devin Rue, who makes the sweet maps, for sponsoring and supporting the channel. And I got type the word sponsors into this thing. I'm real good at this, folks. Hi. This will be a well-oiled machine by next time.
We only promise well-oiled, not functioning. If you're looking for both of those, you need to go to a different channel.
I don't think all machines need to be oiled. You wouldn't oil your calculator, would you?
I just... Okay.
3 hours of this, everybody. 3 hours of this.
I just got a little bit more before we get into the shenanigans. Welcome to the Party has a Patreon, and our Patreon supports the bulk of the operations on this channel. And subs and bits will give you awesome emotes, and will give the players some extra benefits. I will explain how the benefits will work for this game in a little bit, because this is a D6 system with weird stuff. So we don't have like advantage and auto successes and that sort of thing. Although, we'll see. Anyway, you can check out the Patreon info below in this handy dandy thing I'm about to shove into the chat. Yeah. And also, this channel has a very, very active Discord. It's very fun. There are a lot of people yelling all the time about fun stuff, and you can join that and talk to us about this game and tell us how ridiculous we were tonight. Yeah. So yeah, I will be the game master for this game tonight. My name is Ren. I go by Atomic Firebird on the interwebs, just about everywhere there is stuff to be yelling about on the interwebs. And I'm going to go around and introduce you to our players. We're not going to get into their characters just yet. So we're just going to go around, say hi to the player, do the player pronoun, what their social media shenaniganry is, and then we'll start. We're going to go in the order that I see on the screen to my left. Wild.
Oh, shiny. Hi, Mild Engineer. And I will be playing Bior. He has he, they pronouns. I also go by he, they pronouns. You can find me on Twitter at Wild Engineer. Sorry.
How about Steph?
Hello, I'm Steph. You can find me on Twitter at Steph_Bard. I am Steph the Bard pretty much everywhere else. So if you see me in chat, that's me. Uh, I have she, her pronouns, and my fluffy little character that I'm playing also has she, her pronouns, and her name is Eklund.
Okay, how about 4? Before I let 4 talk, I am also going to point out 4 is our tech person tonight, because I just make with the silly voices. I can't make with the tech. Very bad at it. And 4 has very, very, very generously offered to run the back end stuff for me, of which I am incredibly, incredibly thankful. Thank you so much. I'll let you talk now.
Well, thank you! I would hope that my technical prowess is not my only defining trait, as you will well understand in just a few minutes. Hi, I'm 4. I'll be playing Glenn Nutmeg. We'll see all about that when we get to it. For now, please be aware... What? This is my technical assistant, Zoe. She'll be chiming in every now and then to update us on the status of the stream. So yes, that is all I have for you.
I just realized when I was about to say Kupo that Cordelia and Colette are in swapped frames. So how about Angela talk for a second while we flip?
Is it true?
Let it be known that technology is not kind to me on any stream that I am a part of, so this is not Ren's
Angela,
fault.
don't go.
Hello there, everybody. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Angela, otherwise known as at Phoenix24Fem on Twitter, where I yell about different things or just share often very salty trans POC or very gay takes on TTRPG stuff, or just share a lot of me fawning over people being cute, because people are cute, and also animals. Yes, I will be playing a very small, little, big, chubby-cheeked little hamster named Cordelia. And she also uses she, her pronouns, but we'll get to that later. I'm just going to be cute this whole session and see if I can break Ren, as well as my players break me.
Oh, that's not hard. I have no poker face. Gemma!
Hello, I'm Gemma, and I go by Kupo Knight on the Twitters and the Welcome to the Discord channel. Kupo Knight is the O is with the 0, and I will be playing Colette, a little cute little fur ball, which you'll soon be introduced to, and both Colette's and my pronouns are they them.
All right. And people are in the appropriate spots. I'm turning on
Ish.
a very epic starting music. And I'm putting on the most important prop. As we start, Michtim, Seasons of Entropy, Episode 1, Springtime. As all of our little 5 adventurous Michtim know, they are living in the small-ish village of Lyria. Lyria is a pretty small little Michtim village compared to the capital tree, Ternaya, which is a good continent away. Lyria is on an island landmass. Ternaya is a kingdom that is ruled over by a queen. But in this little village of Lyria, they don't really hear a whole lot from the queen. It is not particularly common for people to take the long trek all the way to Ternaya. But these sort of worldly concerns are not really in the forefront of our little teenage hamster friends' minds, because our 5 friends that we're about to meet today live in the little borough of Lyria called Thistle Burrow. I just sort of swished that out there with my mouth. Thistle Burrow. It's hard to say. Thistle. It looked good when I wrote it. Thistle.
Thistle. Like
Thistle.
that?
Thistle. It is springtime. And it is, for some of our 5 little friends here, the first springtime of their adolescent life. They are starting to figure out where they're going in their lives, what sort of jobs they're going to undertake, and what sort of callings they may take in the future. And the little borough of Thistleboro is about to have their springtime festival. It is a very, very exciting festival because everyone was just under snow all winter, and for the most part, tiny rodenty creatures live in their little tree nests for the winter and kind of get a little stir crazy just with their family. And everyone's all thawed out now and getting ready to show off all of their baked goods, and they have, eating contests and things at this festival, and it's all very exciting. And of course, as it's spring and they're tiny mammals, there's a lot of romance in the air and just happy social feelings, a lot of buzzing around. So the first thing we're going to do is open up on the morning of this spring. There's all the little hustle and bustle going on outside, and we are in the bedroom of the nest of Bior, who's just waking up. And I would like Bior to describe what he looks like, what his bedroom is like a little bit, and what activity he's most excited to partake in today's festival.
Oh, yes. Well, Bior, his room is kind of like, so he's kind of got little things that he's picked up along the ways, like any plant stuff. There's probably some flowers here and there, some acorns, maybe some bark and stuff just strewn about. Other than that, it's a little minimalist, They've got a nice window to look out at to admire the good mornings, if you can call them good. They're just mornings. Bior is kind of a tiny little guy. They kind of shy, doesn't talk to a lot of people, but they're around. They've always willing to talk to people, listen to people's, and hear everyone's issues or musings, and just wander around observing.
And what is Bior most looking forward to at today's festival?
Probably the music. They've been listening to a lot of music from one of their other friends, and they're looking forward to seeing it live.
Bior, darling, are you up?
Yeah, I guess.
I need your help.
Okay.
I mean now, please.
Okay.
If you're not down in the kitchen in 5 minutes, I'm gonna get your sister to do it, and she's gonna give you a ton of grief.
I'm coming now.
Thank you, darling. And you hear your mother stomp down the stairs.
And Bior just goes to the washroom, splashes some water in his face, and then they just... Yes, I know. And they just go down.
Does Bior have a little tiny pet of some sort?
Probably not one that they keep around. Just if there's any strays that wander by, they would always, feed them and just be nice to them. And they keep coming around.
All right, when you get down to the kitchen, your mother is surrounded by trays and trays of things that are going to go out to the festival. There are clearly, the trays of things that are just for general consumption, and they're on one side of the kitchen, which she has very strategically blocked off from anyone touching, are the things she is going to enter into contests. What is the thing that your mother enters into the contest every year that she's very protective of?
I think it's a special pie they make. It's like a peach raspberry cobbler. So
Bio, I'm getting a little anxious. Would you please go get your little friend Blueberry and gather some raspberries? I really think that the judges are expecting that little extra oomph, and if I just garnish this pie with fresh picked raspberries, I think that might get me the edge I need.
how many?
She just stuffs a basket in your general direction. Just about halfway, I think.
Okay. It's okay if I pass them along the way as well? If I get a full basket and half are gone, is that okay?
I suppose I would never know.
That's true. I won't do that then.
She looks a little confused for a moment. Alright, well, go to the valley and remember not to go too far. I've already talked to
maybe a
Blueberry's
little
father.
bit.
Blueberry will be on his way very shortly.
I think I know where to get some nice raspberries. I'll go a little further than the valley, but definitely not too far.
And while you're sitting there contemplating that, there's a little, very ginger knock on the door. And one of the neighborhood kids, Blueberry, who your mother has determined is probably your friend, but really just because, he's a neighbor, is younger than you, is about 11, but he's very scrappy. Kind of a wiry little tan Michtim comes to the door. He's grubby. He's got a little slingshot. Hey, Beal.
Hey, Blueberry. I see you've got your slingshot.
Pop says you have stuff we gotta go do.
Yeah. Did you want to come for protection and help me collect some raspberries and stuff?
Yeah. Hi, Mrs. Downs.
I may be able to sneak you some cobbler at the end.
How about right now?
No, we have to wait till after the festival.
No, we need adventuring food.
But no, it's supposed to be in the contest.
There's a tray right there.
No, it goes to the contest.
Yeah, no fun. And he just turns on his heel and walks away.
And Rio's like, I know, and just keeps walking.
And you walk out of your house. Your mom yells behind you to be careful.
I will, Mom.
And we're gonna slide over real quick. And I'm going to turn to Icklin. So, same thing. A little bit of a description of what Icklin looks like. What Icklin's sort of home bedroom situation is like, and what Icklin is most excited about today's festival.
Well, Icklin's a little bit of a chunky little Michtim. She's mostly black with a couple white spots, notably her ears and her face. And her room is pretty much a gallery of the different things that she's collected on her hikes. a lot of dried flowers, a couple of really pretty leaves, and some magic books as well in one corner, as I'm slipping out of her voice into my own. And she's definitely most excited for the food. She loves getting those first profiteroles of the season because people don't make as many sweets during the winter, at least not the kind of sweets that she likes. Although it's not quite cherry season yet. That's what she's really waiting for. The first cherry pies of the year.
So the festival isn't until about the late afternoon, and you generally know that it's of your best interest to kind of get out from underfoot and to get away a little bit from all the chaos of everything. And you are probably maybe packing a bag to leave the house, maybe, because at the moment you start thinking, it's quiet, not for long, your younger brother smashes into your room with 3 other little tiny Michtim, and they are playing some sort of hiding game, but they're screaming at each other. It's like maybe capture the flag or something. And Ivan scurries under your bed and hides and looks up.
Don't tell them I'm here.
Okay, but what am I supposed to do?
Just do what you were going to.
I was going to leave.
No, you're my cover.
I'm not that fat.
Okay, I'm gonna pause here. It definitely wasn't it's like he's hiding under your blanket.
I know. I apologize. I was trying to be funny because I am not a skinny person. You can't see that in the frame.
That's totally. I just wanted to make sure you had
No.
confusion that I was.
I'm aware it's under the bed. It's just.
And then a little Michtim kid sticks his head in the door and is like looking around the room.
Yes.
Looks at you, scurries away. Another one pops in. Starts like going through your drawers.
Excuse me.
What?
Is this your room?
No.
Then why are you going through my stuff?
And leaves.
Boys.
I think they're gone.
I think so.
Thanks.
Uh-huh.
And Ivan tears out of the room, goes the other way.
With
You
tying
hear
the drawer
crashing in the house. And then you hear your dad, Ivan! And there's just
Chaos.
tiny Michtim and chaos.
Eklund climbs out the window. It kind of scurries down the side of the house with her bag and like maybe 2 books. I say book, but the other's really a notebook.
When you turn to your right, you see a whole bunch of people getting ready for the sort of parade part of the festival, and they've blocked off part of the road, and they sort of shoo you away. And then to your left, you see people setting up stalls and things.
I'm going to try to casually walk through the stalls and see what I can see.
Kid, we're not open yet.
But I can't go the other way. I'm just walking.
Oh, darling! And you see a very nice older lady, Michtim. Are you lost?
No. I just wanted to... I was going towards the forest, and I can't go the other way, so I was gonna cut through while you guys were setting up.
The forest, that's not very useful. Could you help me with these boxes?
Sure?
And she just, like, shoves some boxes in your hand.
They go right there.
Okay.
Do you work for her for a little bit, or do you try to escape?
I think she'll help a little bit, and then the minute this lady's back is turned and her hands are free, she is scampering off.
The clearest path out of there, you see, just darts to the forest, and you actually see two Michtim that you have seen around, heading off in that direction.
Yep, just kind of beeline.
One of them is Bior. But I'm gonna pause us there. And slide over to Glenn. It's the morning. What's Glenn doing? What's Glenn look like? And what are you most looking forward to at the festival?
Glenn gets up early because his family is mostly nocturnal. They do most of their work at night. So he's up by like 5:30. And at this point, I imagine he's been getting ready for today extensively. His broad, thick body has gone through what looks like a rigorous training exercise, a regiment of intensity that only a budding teenager can go through confidently. And he is looking forward to any opportunity to crush the 8-year-olds in the tug of war. That is the most exciting thing for today on his mind.
So are you still in your house getting ready, or are you outside training?
Now it feels like we need to go downstairs and start actually getting some air into his lungs so he can practice and leave behind a few pebble stacks here and there. He wants to, once he's conquered, he wants to collect lots of pebbles and make sure there's lots of pebble stacks.
Now, is Margaret in town for the festival, or is she traveling away right now?
No, she's not in town. This is the third festival she's missed.
Are your parents awake right now, or are they?
They're probably sleeping. I imagine they won't wake up until later in the afternoon, so Glenn naturally just makes his own breakfast.
Alright. What does Glenn make for breakfast?
He gets a big chunky honeycomb, he covers it in sunflower seeds, and he just walks out of his house just like cheeks bulging, and just his lips are trying to contain this like one drop, this one gloop of honey as he crunches down, and he won't notice it, but like his chin is going to be like just ever so sticky.
I love this visual. I love Glenn. Alright, so as I said before, the Thistle Burrow is just booming with activity. There's people all over the streets. A lot of your usual spots are full of people setting up streamers and stalls and blocking off roads for the parade route, etc.
Rude.
So you are free to go where you would like.
In that case, I might as well get a head start on collecting some really smooth pebbles. In that case, get some good foundation.
Okay, I think the best place that you would think of to go do that is at the edge of the valley. There's a good sort of words. Great with the words today. a place where people have carved out a lot of stone to bring to the village, and there's a lot of loose rubble and stuff there.
Like a gravel pit.
Yes, gravel. That's exactly what I was looking for.
Okay.
Quarry?
It's funny, yeah, or that. It's funny when you're, on stream and DMing and really normal words just evade you.
Normal words are beyond us.
Yeah, some sort of quarry.
That sounds like an ideal place to hang out for children. So naturally, Glenn will
Yeah.
go there. If at all possible, Glenn will try to trip someone on the way. Because he is that big.
On the way through your particular path to the quarry, you mostly see people who are setting up the parade route. And there is one kind of nerdy looking guy who is setting up the barriers, who does have his back turned to you for a moment, so you probably could get away with that.
Okay, so first, does he have like a cloak or like a fun little cape?
No, this guy, I described him as nerdy, so I think that he's got some corduroy on with like patches on his elbows.
Around this time, Glenn has probably noticed that he's got like the wind is like making his little chin fur stick together, so he's gonna like sort of grab like a leaf and just sort of like, and while the guy's sort of adjusting the barrier, he's gonna like stick it on his elbow. Just like smear it.
It stays. He's got his hands full of setting up things. He kinda turns a
But I
little
want
bit.
him to know I was here. So Glenn goes, "Oh, do you need some help there?" And I just get real close and just like, "It looks like a heavy barrier. Allow me to show you how it's done."
He is just stammering out sounds, and looking at you. He's probably a couple years older than you, but he's shorter. And just his eyes are all wide.
I just stare at him and say, "You gonna be in that tug of war?"
No.
Ah, that's good. You better cheer on your elementary kids. Make sure they put up a strong resistance before they hit the mud. Ah! And he drops the barrier.
I don't have kids. What?
Oh, sorry. It's just so easy to assume. Well, I hope you have a good day, chum. Just march off.
Oh.
Then I run. When he notices. If he notices.
You, as you're running, you just hear like a really like kind of furtive like, "I'll see you later."
I'll make it up to him.
Utter confusion. Poor corduroy person.
That's how I'll know. Corduroy.
I just wrote the words corduroy in my note because that's got to come back.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you scurry away, and we'll screen wipe over to Cordelia. Cordelia. It is morning of festival day. What does Cordelia look like?
So Cordelia is a very giant, chubby, like little cheeks. She's a little bit more in the shape of kind of like a hamster. Her fur is sort of goes to sort of a deep black kind of tinge to about halfway, partway down her chest, where it starts fading out to kind of a gray, and then sort of Lower half of her is a bit more like whitish, so she just sort of like starts dark and just sort of fades out. Big chubby cheeks usually has like her hands like I don't know if anyone grew up with the series of unfortunate events books where Klaus is described as always having like a book by his table and like he falls asleep like with his glasses in his hand. Cordelia is like that, but she always almost looks like her fingers are resting on an instrument trying to have a chord assembled in her hands. Like whether or not the instrument is too big to actually fit in her bed or not, she still if she had an idea right before bed, she's just like, think, oh yeah, that's the F6 sharp 9 was the C. That's so nice. But yeah, it's the kind of room where there are, for the amount of space that could actually exist in it versus how much space is filled up by instruments, you would think it's a much smaller room than it actually is. But every other space, if it's not like sheets of paper with half-scrawled ideas for music or for poems, it's just scattered all over, and there's just instruments everywhere, anything from like little woodwind instruments to little Mbira style like bone things that she sort of made from like taking chestnuts and sort of sculpting them over time with her parents' help.
That's great. What are you most looking forward to in the festival?
The music! The music is most wonderful. It brings everyone happiness. It gets everyone together. Even if you're sad, there's songs for people being sad. If there are people who are a little bit excitable or a little bit more of a rambunctious kind of fighter kind of type, there's songs for that. There's songs always for every occasion and songs for every single mood. So she is super excited, especially since she's pretty certain she's still working up the confidence to show her parents this, but she thinks she's pretty sure she has her first completed song of her own. She's mostly done covers and variations on other people's, but she almost has her own song ready.
So, speaking of music, you definitely hear from all around the house the sounds of your various family members tuning their instruments, doing last-minute sort of rehearsals on the things that they are planning on performing throughout the day. Your parents are probably hired as musicians for the parade. And then later on in the day when there's a little bit of a dance. Are your siblings musical as well?
I would say they both are, though probably I'd say my family's the kind of type where everyone has some sort of musical capacity, but whoever actually took the time to have that, to work towards that as their calling is the difference. Because I sort of imagine my mom being more the full musician player kind of type, my dad being the more theatrical, whatever a Michtim world equivalent of a voice actor would be, and a performer in like stage productions for Michtim sort of audiences. I imagine they're both the kind of traveling types, and my siblings, to a different degrees, take on certain elements of it. Like everyone plays music or can sing or something or other, but it depends.
So would it be a fair assessment to say that maybe your father's role in the festival is actually like that he is the officiator for like the talent show and some of the theatrical type things that'll happen in the evening?
I would imagine so. I kind of think of him as being like a less misogynistically inclined version of the Hairspray announcer from the dance show, but with less toxic masculinity associated with him. Just a more fun-loving Michtim furry hamster version of that, except maybe more gay or more queer. Just some variations of those.
I mean, that's kind of a dream right there. All right. So you know that Iklin is somebody who really likes music, and you have a couple of times tried to gather up the courage to show Iklin some of your music, and thinking that maybe when you go downstairs and you're thinking about how you maybe want to tell your parents that you maybe have this first song. They look like they are so busy and in the middle of everything. You lose your nerve a little bit and you're like, maybe I should find Icklin and just try it on her first.
Yeah, I kind of imagine it's one of those things where it's like, hey, mom and dad, how's the morning? And then they're just like doing that thing where you just see like the Home Alone movie scene where like everyone wakes up late to go to the airport and everyone's like running by each other and like people with like brushing their teeth. Someone has like half a like baked like bread roll in their mouth and they're like, "Ronnie, not right now." I'm imagining it's kind of that scene.
Yeah. Your dad has a roll in his mouth and he is wandering around. He's rehearsing lines, but silently. He's just doing the hand gestures and the motions. And your mom has like a violin bow tucked over one shoulder while she's trying to like stick a bunch of other pieces of equipment into a box, and then she's like in the middle, like, oh no, I need to get this in. You know, she's just trying to fix all of her equipment. They are just existing around each other.
I'll come back later to show you all this. She like has a little notebook that's like she's because I sort of imagine the methods where like you sort of toughen or like not quite harden but make it less like it's gonna fall apart pieces the way of like papyrus. But she's done a similar sort of process for a leaf to make sort of the outside of a little carrying case for a tiny little notebook.
Oh, I
That's
love that so
she has like her favorite brand she's fashioned with little bits of like ink and occasionally honey for spots where she wants to make like specific notes. Or like, this is a keeper, this is a bad idea, or this was never a good idea, why did I ever think this was a good idea? And she like leaves 2 drops if it's a good idea, 1 if it's a great idea, and 3 it's never touch this ever again. But yeah, I imagine she pulls that out, she's about to show it, then takes it back, and then she starts heading outside and trying to figure out where Icklin is, just a little more like sunken in, like
You do hear your father say goodbye to you with a mouthful of roll. Like, they did notice that you were there.
oh yay, someone noticed me. Yay. Just like have a tiny little like guitar on her back, or it's sort of a, it looks ukulele kind of design, but it's 5 pairs of strings and it's styled after a charango that's an Andean sort of instrument that's normally made out of an armadillo shell, but I made mine out of like an acorn nut. I used the top part of it to make the bass, and then I used the softer parts to make the actual body of the guitar and help little bits of it make the strings. But I'm just like outside the house and it's like, where's Icklin?
I'm gonna have you make the first roll
Oh dear.
of the night.
Oh no. This is where it all goes to hell.
So, I'm gonna have you roll a detect roll, which in this system means you are going to roll your joy die.
Okay.
Now, the thing is, with this roller, we have to ignore that line that says successes.
No worries. I will not be doing anything for hold. I will just be doing simple detect. I have no mood markers, so there's nothing to adjust it, so it's just a simple joy roll. That is going to be an 8.
rolled an 8. Now, I believe... Okay. So, in Michtim, we're all rolling d6s. Every emotion that the players will be rolling, there's joy, love, grief, fear, and anger, to do their various activities. And anytime you roll a 6, you get a mood marker. So, Cordelia rolled a 3 and a 4 and a 1, which was enough to beat the threshold of 7, but did not grant any mood markers. So, not going to walk through that every time, but I wanted to just go through it for one time. So, you absolutely catch the back of Icklin disappearing off into the woods.
She's gonna like tighten the strap against her back, and she's go back into the household, grab a tiny little cap, because even if it's spring, her mom always tells her to be prepared for any kind of cold weather. And she has like a little cap that covers your ears, and it's specially designed for her because she's significantly shorter and smaller than everyone else in the family. And she just starts doing one of these little motions of just lifting her little feet up and starting to run after Iglin.
Yeah, and it's no problem. You kind of, maneuver through all of the people that are doing setup in the village, and you get into the forest. And screen wipe to our last little Babby Michtim, Colette.
Little baby.
Little baby.
Little baby.
Find out what Colette looks like, what kind of house they live in, and what they are most looking forward to in the festival.
Well, Colette is probably still asleep and just getting up. So you just see this small, round, white fluff. They're small, but just very fluffy where they almost look round. And they're just like spread eagle on their bed, maybe slightly snoring. And then they just wake up. I'm up. And they get up. And then they get up and they start getting ready. They're basically like this off-white, so they get dirty pretty easily because they're very curious and they kind of go around and get things and just want to explore everything. And then, but on the back, there's like these little like brown markers, like kind of on the back, so it kind of looks like wings. It's kind of like a birthmark, and they're proud of it because their dads think it's very cute. So they're just getting ready. The room is cluttery, like typical teenagers. I think half of them are like maybe some like posters or ripped up parchments of like other villages' Michtim bands, based on like their dad's what their dad tours with, I guess. And there's all these various trinkets and collections because they like collecting little trinkets from the valley, and I would like to think it's from like the far off like humans. They don't know really what it is, but they're just little like thingamabobs and gadgets, kind of like Ariel from The Little Mermaid.
I was just gonna ask if you had
kind of like
thingamabobs, and if you had maybe about 20 of them.
Yeah, I think it's about 19 right now.
Okay.
Yeah, they're most looking forward to the food. Like it is sampling time. Like they already have like a map out. They know they have to gun for the peach raspberry cobbler, because Mrs. Downs, like everyone knows, Mrs. Downs is the best. So, yeah, they're just getting ready to eat.
So I imagine by now your pops is probably, since he's a musician, might be rehearsing in another part of the nest.
I think I hear it from. I think I kind of hear an offset of like the guitar, probably just straining.
Does he have a role in the festival?
Oh yeah, they're performing. I don't know. They're either second to last or last, so it's kind of a big deal, or they think it is.
So they probably know Cordelia's parents.
Oh, I'm sure they've jammed together plenty of times.
Now, so that's your pops. How about your dad? Your dad, does he do anything with the festival?
No, my pops, he tends to kind of stay in like his little study, kind of a night owl, so to speak, and kind of tinkers with chemicals and potions and things like that. So he's probably still asleep, but he'll probably go into evening to watch my dad play.
Okay. Did I get it backwards? Dad is the musician and Pops is the alchemist?
Oh, maybe I switched it. I was just like, Dad, Pops. Oh no, Pops is the musician. Dang it.
Okay, good. As long as
My bad.
I've got it. All right. Now, what kind of musical instrument is Pops playing?
Oh, Pops is playing the guitar.
Okay. Do you go downstairs?
Yep. And they kind of waddle downstairs.
Is your older brother still living in the nest, or is he that much older that he's not around?
Oh, we're pretty far apart in age, so they left the nest. He left the nest already.
Yeah, so you go downstairs, and your Pops is, working on some stuff. He gives you a friendly nod, but it's sort of a familiar nod of, I'll say hi to you in a minute.
Okay.
And then, I don't know hand motions for this, so I'm not gonna try. He does his thing for a few more minutes while you maybe put her around and get breakfast. And then he'll set it down. A lot of voices to wrestle.
Oh no, it's okay. You don't have to do a voice.
No, it's fine.
He has a cold. He has a cold.
He has a cold. It's fine.
Archive subsection C voice severity. Just the measure.
Oh gosh.
And he'll say good morning. I want to hear what your voice sounds like first.
Wait, is this my Pops or my dad?
Your Pops, the musician.
Okay. Morning, Pops. Oh, I won! Were you not gonna...
No, you're wonderful. This is great.
Pops, why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
Well,
Are you nervous? Why are you nervous? It's your big day.
I thought Angela was going to be the one that broke me. Okay.
I'm a support player.
Good morning.
Good morning. Are you ready?
Not in the least.
Oh, you've toured to so many villages. This is no big deal.
I know, but I've gotten rusty over the winter.
Oh, you'll be fine.
That last chord, you heard that? That just didn't sound right. I need to try it again. I think I need to oil the dingle hopper.
Yeah, just tune the thingamawidge just a tiny bit, and I think it'll be fine. I think. I don't know.
Yeah, so he's kind of like a weird bundle of nerves, and he sits down at the table, which is probably made of like a... I'd actually like to think that maybe he also likes to collect human stuff, so I think that probably your table is actually a spool of something, like a spool of twine, and then you've got spools of thread, like empty ones, around the table for the chairs. And he sets his instrument down on that, and he starts messing with all the parts.
I'm just watching him kind of tune.
All right. Do you have time to hear me try that again?
Yeah, maybe one more, and then I was gonna head out and check out the festival.
Oh. That's fine. You don't have to listen to... That's fine. You don't have to listen to me.
Are you sure? Okay. Well, I'll be front row, cheering you on. You got this, Dad. And Pops. Meh. And then I just run off. Waddle away.
You leave. He's And then you hear like the plunking of the guitar going again, a little gingerly, as you leave.
I cringe as I shut the door.
Yeah, something is off with him. You don't know. Usually he's a lot more proficient, but clearly something's up. He's very stressed out.
Oh.
But you're a kid, so you just move on with your day.
Oh yeah, I think about it for like maybe 5 seconds, and then I'm like, festival time.
Now, you go outside, and the festival is clearly not in full swing yet. Everyone is still setting everything up. You do smell all the food starting to cook. But you know from years past that if you start going over and trying to get too close to the food, then everyone's gonna shoo away. It's gonna be a bad time. So you need to find a way to occupy yourself until the festival officially opens.
I wish I could run faster. That way they won't catch me if I ever try to get snacks.
Do you try to go anyway?
Yeah, and then I go.
Alright, so the closest place to you right now would be the bakery. Off the beaten path, sweets and pleats? Am I saying that right?
I think we decided on sweets and pleats.
Sweets and pleats. Alright. You head over there, and a lot of activity. You see Mrs. Downs carrying a number of trays of just sort of like the plain scones and things that are going to the various stalls.
I just kind of dodge the other Michtims around and just be like, "Hi, Mrs. Downs. You need some help?"
She
I can
looks
help
at
you.
and she raises an eyebrow.
Yes, but you've got to do something for me.
And she reaches up onto one of the trays that she has, and she grabs she goes sort of underneath, and she grabs what you know to be a raspberry white chocolate scone with very tantalizing powdered sugar on the top, and she sort of holds it just above where you could reach.
Uh-huh. As I reach.
I sent Beal out a little while ago to go get me some raspberries, and he's not back yet.
I'll give you this. You've got to go collect him.
You sent them out on a trip. You know they get lost all the time.
He went with Blueberry.
Oh. Well, that's even worse.
And actually, as she says that, you see Blueberry wandering around, like, doing target practice against some of, like, the stall sides.
And I don't see Bior?
No.
Oh, with Blueberry, eh? Sure. I'll go get Bior.
And she hands you the scone. Thanks, you're a peach. And wanders away.
And I just, like, nibble it, and just the chunks. And it just kind of adds on to the fluff. I swallow.
There's
And then
definitely some, like, raspberry
Oh, yeah.
on the white now, too.
Yeah, but I think I'm used to it. Like, it's white. Like, can't help it. And then I waddle out and go to Blueberry.
And, okay, yeah, so Blueberry is standing up against one of the walls, is doing that thing. I almost wanted to, like, do it myself, but I'm gonna share. Doing that thing where he's got, like, one leg up against the wall and the other leg out, and he's just, like, messing with his slingshot. And then he aims up. It looks like he's, like, aiming towards a small child.
Blueberry, what are you doing?
What she want?
I heard from Mrs. Downs you were with Bior. Where are they?
Oh, they were being really boring.
What? That's not a reason to leave someone. Where were you going?
Oh, to the raspberry patch.
Are they still there?
I don't know. And then he plinks at a ball that some little Michtim is playing with, and it shoots it off into the street.
And I waddle away and like to the raspberry patch to find Bior because I owe Mrs. Downs.
Alright, so you go into the woods. As you are going into the woods,
Waddle.
you run into Cordelia.
Oh,
Hi.
Cordelia, heyo.
Hi.
What are you doing here?
I was looking for Icklin. I wanted to show her
Oh,
something.
I kind of peek because I kind of see something strapped behind her back. What you got there? What you got there?
She
Oh, is
doesn't
that
have a
your-
hood, but she's trying to use the cap that's going downwards on her head to try and hide under it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry, it's no. You're fine. You're fine. I'm perfectly fine. Things are okay.
Okay. Are you practicing?
As Colette interrupts you, you lose sight of Iglin.
Oh no.
Is everything okay?
Well, I saw Icklin, and then I didn't see Icklin.
Oh, well,
Uh,
which way did Icklin go?
that way, I think.
Is that the same direction as the raspberry patch? Storyteller?
Yes,
Storytellers.
storyteller's rolling a dive.
Yeah, I know
Ah.
that gesture. I've done that gesture on stream multiple times for my own campaigns. That's the which level of chaos are we introducing now? No, not that one.
Oh, well, that's the same direction I'm going. I have to go to the raspberry patch and pick up Bior. Come on! And I grab her hand and I just start waddling.
I'm kind of. I realize height for us is like super relative because we're tiny hamsters, but like in our
Yeah.
actual sizes, like that we use in everyday life, how tall would you imagine like Colette being relative wise?
It's kind of hard with Colette because they're like fluff. So,
Including Fluff.
okay, including fluff. Damn, how big are hamsters anyway? I
So
never-
the size
hamster.
parameters for the Michtim are small, strong, and wiry. And I believe
Okay.
you had described yourself as small, which in
Yes.
the rule book was like tiny poof ball.
Yeah,
And
that's kind of.
wiry was like wiry, and strong was
Wiry.
like strong.
Oh my
strong
god, now I'm
boy.
imagining a buffed up hamster and this is
That's
weird.
basically what Colette is,
Oh god.
as far as we know.
Oh
Like,
god.
I was asking because I'm imagining like you're pretty much everyone is significantly bigger than me, and I just have like my hand like right at your waist, or like maybe a little bit above your waist overall. I'm just following, like, okay, let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
You might even be like similar sizes, but Colette has so much floof that it does give an appearance of being a larger Michtim.
The floof adds an extra 6 inches in all directions. It extends the radius.
Yeah. My circumference is pretty round.
Your circumference is just described as round.
Round.
So we've got some round floofs
Round.
Small floof.
trundling off in the forest,
Trundle.
going off towards the berry bush. And we are yet again going to screen wipe. Back to Bior, who we haven't talked to for about an hour. Let's say you got to the berry bush and you are in the middle of picking your berries. When you had that little like almost tiff with Blueberry, he wandered away, but his presence was not particularly missed.
Yeah, like I probably shouldn't have told Blueberry that. I think if you eat too many raspberries, they're poisonous. I think, but probably not. Oh well.
Now, let's roll to see how many blueberries you are able to find.
I mean, Beor's being very lackadaisical, but he's just kind of staring off into space, maybe picking one and be like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have you roll a joy roll.
And I don't have to put anything into hold, right?
Nope. You don't have to put anything into that unless I mark off that you have.
Mood. It's a 5.
So you roll a 5. So, like you said, you are being pretty lackadaisical about your berry hunting. It's probably like 1 berry's going in the basket and 2 into your mouth, maybe. And you see like, you know, an interesting bug. Ooh, an interesting. So you've probably got like about a quarter of your basket full at this point, and you know that your mom needs more. When you hear some broken branches off to your left, and Icklin, that's when you were trying to, you know, walk up in a way that didn't alarm, but then a twig cracks underneath your foot, and then you were there like, oh.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay. Listen.
Oh gosh, I just put the 2 shy ones together.
Congratulations.
You're gonna have an introvert off.
Who will awkward away first?
I can do this. Oh my gosh. I wasn't expecting me to break this on my...
It's fine. This is why I made everyone kids for this episode. Just the base stats. We're all just getting into it. It's a new system for everyone. Low impact. It's just the spring. Spring is fine.
High fun.
Oh, I plan to have a big impact once I get to that tug of war.
If you
Yes, we know.
Do not dare if me.
Anyhow. Well, Eagly kind of comes trundling up.
What you doing?
Looking at the plants and stuff. Oh, and picking
Yes.
raspberries.
Oh,
What
do you
one?
want help? What are the raspberries for?
For my mom. She's baking for the competition.
Oh,
Yeah.
do you want help? You should probably get back soon.
Is it
If it's for
close
the
to time
competi-
already?
Well, judging's usually in the morning, and when I left, I almost got roped into helping this old lady fill out her booth. So, yeah, they're starting to set up already.
Oh no. It's getting late. It's probably too late anyways.
Don't say that. You want to help your mom win, don't you? I mean, she makes the best sweets anyway, but any little thing will help.
Sure. Just putting raspberries in the basket.
And Euclid kind of helps without getting in the way, like probably kind of like going around the other side of the bush, grabbing a couple in her hands, coming back, gently putting them in the basket.
Yeah, why don't you make a joy roll for me to
Okay.
investigate, speed up this process.
Go.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Was that all ones?
No.
I wanted
it was
to
a 1 and a
print.
2.
You
Just
don't
Jake so
find
hard.
that many. What do you think distracts you from finding that many?
Well, early spring is a bad time for raspberries.
That is fair. Ecology of this world is very wishy-washy.
That's true.
We're just rolling with it. They are all right. They are.
I'll stop ruining things. With
No,
Earth
it's not.
One.
It's not. It's not ruining. Actually, I want whoever thinks of the best adjective raspberries. We're gonna make up a new type of raspberry for this world that bloom in the spring.
Tartberry.
Tartberry.
I was gonna say sour puck.
Raspberry.
It gives it an actual cute name, but everyone wants to actually give an adjective and be helpful.
What was your adjective, Angela?
Oh, well, my
say
name
it again.
for it was gonna say sour puck berries. That they're the kind of ones where, like, instead of just being like sour, where it's like, oh, it's just a little tart. It's the one they're called sour pucks because when you bite into them, you get a face that's like
Oh, and our big little cheeks.
big.
All right. Well, I am executive decision GMing this. They are sour buck tart berries,
No objections.
and they are harvested in the springtime. Boom.
Boom. They're intentionally harvested unripe because they're better this way.
For
That's
extra
you're
sour.
ruining the intelligent design of the world. Like, what are
Yes.
you doing?
Exactly.
We're building a world together
Yes.
with our sour puck tart berries.
So, yeah, I think Eagle's trying to help. And also trying not to sneak them herself because because tart things. Because they taste like tart cherries.
I eat them every now and then. They make my mouth hurt. I like that.
And that, I think, is probably where Cordelia and Colette will walk into this awkward meeting of the introverts. They make my mouth hurt.
But yeah, Cordelia, you should totally talk to my dad. I'm sure you can jam or some. Oh! Hey!
Hi.
Mission
fine.
success!
Was there an adventure? Did I miss it?
Well, there could be an adventure,
Oh,
but
I don't know if I'm supposed to go on adventures.
You're on an adventure.
I'm getting
Oh
ready.
no.
No, Bjorn, it's a good one. You were the goal. Huzzah!
Oh,
That huzzah is streamlit over to Glenn, who is just so hardworking and looking for his pebbles in the gorge, which is not that far from the raspberry fields, because that's just the way it is.
Find as many as I can. And very
Make
carefully.
Joy roll.
Yeah. This is a joyful thing. Oh boy. I'm not gonna hold any. Let's just do it.
Whoa!
Ooh. All right. And 4 has got our first 6 of the night. So I am putting down next to his info that he now has a joy die mood marker. But that was definitely a success. So you have your gathering implement full of perfect stacking stones.
Excellent. This pleases me. And I decide I shall trek back to town and begin my own little setup.
I'm going to take a pause to just go over real quick that mood marker. From this point forward, in this episode, any joy roll that Glenn makes will have a +1 to it. This is just a passive effect that will happen. So D6s just give a stacking advantage to things.
Oh, I'm
At
so
any
happy.
point, you are making a joy roll that you feel like you need more dice on, you can sell your mood marker back to me to get an extra die for that roll. That's how, when you click on your die rolls, all those things that it's asking you, that's if you're either holding or if you've got an extra one. So that is our mood markers. And right now, Glenn has an extra joy mood marker. And also, the mood markers kind of indicate like an uptick in that particular mood of a Michtim. So Glenn is flying high right now, feeling really optimistic about this tug of war, like really happy that he found perfect stones, and he is turning away from the gorge on his way back to town when he hears a horrible, horrible screech, which I'm not going to do because I'll blow out my microphone. But it is a awful, awful screech of just absolute pain.
I hear this?
Yes. It's not a Michtim. You know immediately that it's not a
not.
Michtim.
I'm going to allow myself to drop the pebbles, not out of fear, because I do not fear. I just needed to free up my hands. And this might be worrisome. I might need to warn people about the festival, or, just in case. I'd like to... How big of a yell was it? Was it a big, yell? Ah!
It was a strained scream of pain.
Oh, pain!
Yeah.
Well, in that case, I'm going to grab one pebble and charge forward, getting ready to whip it at whatever is causing such pain.
If you sort of rush off with your stone into the direction that you think you heard this sound, you kind of come up on the edge of the gorge and you see at the base of a tree some sort of shape falling, and then you see another dark shape kind of descend upon it. And these shapes are both bigger than you.
I will now turn around and leave. No, I won't. I can't. I must know. I'm big. I'm a big lad. I can do this.
Your teenage pride compels you.
No, I have to show those 8-year-olds.
So do you try to sneak a little bit closer to see what's going on?
Now that I understand, I am terribly smaller than both of these. Yes, because Margaret would do this. She's not here to do it, so I'll do it instead.
Okay, you are far enough away that you're not too worried about being very stealthy right now, but you kind of get a little bit closer, and you see that, so the gorge is, rocky with a little bit of sort of sandy kind of gravel up along the edge of it, and then there's some shrubbery going off into the woods, and you have to go back through the woods to get back to town. At the base of this tree, there is a furry mammal that has its forelegs on a bird who is screaming. You're only close enough to make out that you know these pieces of information.
aches. I'm gonna pump myself up. I'm gonna throw my pebble at whatever is hurting this bird.
All right. I need you to roll me an anger check.
Okay. I'm gonna hold 1 because I might want more effects out of this than just I hit it. Oh god, I didn't add my food. No.
Okay.
7.
You rolled a 7 for your anger check, so you succeed, and you held 1, so you hit it with a little bit of extra oomph.
Oh, just barely.
So, what I'm gonna say is I also need you. I don't know. So you throw your pebble at this large mammal, and it smacks it just square in the back, and it wheels up and starts to look in your general direction. Long enough for the bird to kind of hobble away a little bit. But I am going to have the creature roll a detect on you.
Oh no. No.
So the creature is just sort of scanning the edge of the gorge. Has not seemed to make a bead on you just yet.
I should run another pebble.
And we're gonna screen wipe over to our 4 other characters who are having a little talk about raspberries and the festival, when from a little bit farther away you hear a horrible scream of pain.
Uh-oh. That wasn't good.
What was
No.
that?
Did we
Doesn't
check
sound
it out?
good.
Have you heard anything like that before?
And you hear another from the same type of creature, clearly just
Oh,
choking pain.
Eklund spends a lot of time in the forest. Do you think she would recognize the...
It sounds like
soundish?
something is getting attacked.
That's not good.
Hmm.
what is it, Iklin? Do you know?
It does strike you, Iklin, as a little strange because this is not, the prime hunting time of any of the predators that are, naturally occurring in your area. Your parents, train you in this pretty early on.
It's wrong. Something shouldn't... There's nothing that hunts now. We should go see what's going on.
I've never
Somebody might
seen
be
a
hurt. It sounds like somebody's hurt.
I've never seen a hunt before, and yeah, maybe something is hurt. Let's go.
I don't want to see a hurt animal.
Well, maybe we can help it out if we go take care of it. Or maybe if we help it out, it won't be mad or hurting anymore.
Exactly.
Hmm,
Yeah.
maybe.
We're the caretakers of the forest. At least that's what my dad says.
But Bior, if you don't feel up to it, I mean, I'm here because your mom was wondering where the heck you were. So, I mean, if you're not comfortable, you can stay here, but I really want to check this out.
Hmm. No, it's probably too late to give her the berries, so I guess I can go.
Yay, okay, let's go.
But I don't like it, but I'll go.
I want to know from all of you how, sort of, on the one hand, bold versus sneaky are you being when you go towards this sound?
Sneaky sneak.
Cordelia?
Neat. I think she is gonna be like taking the cautious approach, mostly out of fear, but also like with it, like it's fear mixed with a sense of like, I want to help the thing if it's hurting. I also don't want to have my means of helping be bitten off.
Fair.
Yeah.
Colette, how bold versus sneaky are you being?
I'm very curious, more so on the fact that like I've never seen like like a hunt. Maybe there's like something like epic going on, but so in a way bold. But like when they kind of go ahead of the group, especially Iklin, like I kind of go back a bit and kind of like follow what Iklin does because they know the lay of the land. So I'm kind of being sneaky, but also like.
What is it? What is it? What is it?
Yeah, like, are we there yet?
And Bjor, should I assume you're?
Bjor's halfway between. They're doing the if I have to trudge.
Bjor is resigned. I love it. All right. So, but Bjor, you, because your mom does send you out here a lot, you know that the sound at least was coming from the direction of the rock quarry.
I mean, it's coming from the quarry. We're not really supposed to go there. It's kind of dangerous.
Another sort of choked, less loud pain noise.
Ooh.
I don't think right now's the time for should and shouldn'ts.
No, there's always a time for should and shouldn't.
It's okay to be scared. I'm scared too, but nothing should make us sound like that.
Yeah.
It's our job to help it.
It's okay, I'm always scared.
Me too. I'm always scared of almost everyone and everything. It's great.
As you're getting a little closer to where the sound seemed like it originated, you hear a totally different... Smashed my microphone, sorry.
That would be a sound that's totally different.
Stop. You hear a very, very different sort of sound. Something else sort of cries out in maybe anger or pain, but very abrupt.
Better not be me.
That really didn't sound good.
No, it didn't.
And as you get to the edge of the quarry, you see that you can see that there is a bird that is kind of hobbling away, and another creature that I can hear somebody's cat in the background, and it's perfect.
Oh no, that's my cat. He's outside the door. He wants in. My roommate just went to sleep.
You see a four-legged, larger than you fuzzy mammal that its hair is standing on end, and it is just alert and looking.
What?
Kind of in a direction just a little bit off to your right.
What the forest is that?
And I need everyone who said that they were going in a sneaky way to roll a fear check to be sneaky. I'd say that Bior can.
Okay. So what does holding one back do? Would that do anything for me or not really?
What holding one back means is you can choose to not roll a die if you think you probably have enough die to beat the 7.
Mhm.
And that will mean that you have sort of like a +1 to the effect once you have succeeded.
Okay.
I only barely had enough to get 7, and I had 4.
I'll not do that.
And you also got a 7. So actually, everyone was being pretty sneaky. And so what you notice is that this creature, it is now kind of making just like this noise, and it trains its eyes on Cordelia. Not Cordelia, sorry. Colette.
Oh. Oh. Oh
And
no.
it starts
Ah.
just very slowly,
Huh.
and it kind of goes down,
Ah.
and on its
What is it doing?
front legs looks at you.
Is it bowing? What is it doing?
No, this
It's
is bad.
coming this
This is
way.
bad. It's going to attack.
I can't run very fast.
And it's just crawling towards
Find something
you
that makes noise.
slowly. It's got a tail. It's kind of
That makes noise?
flick.
If you make a big noise,
Like-
we'll startle it. Then maybe it'll give whatever it's looking at time to get away.
Sometimes it's good to do nothing, and then nothing happens.
And Glenn, you see that this creature that you had distracted, that was looking for you, shot over and is now looking to your left. And you see 4 Michtim there. What? What are they doing here? And the creature looks as if it is about to pounce on them. And that's where we're gonna take a break.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Here lies Colette, this white fluff ball.
Just
Well-
a ball of fluff.
It was a ball of fluff till the very end.
I didn't know TPKs could happen in Michtim.
So yes. Before we
Yeah, say what you would
shut
like.
you
and-
all off to break.
Yeah.
While we're taking this break, why not head over to Roll20 to sign up for your free account today? Roll20 is what we are using tonight. It is a great program. It has tons of character sheets for so many games, and I am actually gonna just give a quick shout out to Midgardia, who I will post their info for in the chat, who made the sheet that we're using tonight after I was wrestling with the HDMI for a week. They're great. Over 4 million additional people other than us use Roll20's virtual tabletop to power your favorite games, and with modules galore on the market, you'll definitely find something for your group to enjoy. This is my advertising voice. And we are going to roll the break screen.
Thanks so much for hanging out with us today.
Yay.
Okay, really quick. I don't know how to mute Zoom and still play the thing, so everyone mute yourselves.
Oh.
you do this to us. Why must you scare us?
Back, everybody.
Okay, now it's good.
Now, really, welcome back, everybody.
Why must you scare us like this? Why?
Good. Start the clock.
Why, storyteller? Why do you scare us like this?
If you are just joining us, we are playing a game called Michtim Fluffy Adventures. It is a very cute little indie TTRPG by a really cool Austrian game designer named George Muir, and I will share their info in the chat. We have 5 little teenage Michtim in the raspberry grove during spring on festival day, and they were all very, very brave, and they just went to the aid of some sort of bird that was being accosted by a very mean critter who has now trained their sights on Colette, who is the fluffiest little white tiny raspberry soaked, streaked with rime, little adorable creature who in the chat was likened to a Moogle, and I love that so much. I just can't get that out of my head now. I'm so happy. So where we left off was this very mysterious creature on 4 legs that was about to pounce in the direction of Colette. What?
No, I didn't get to eat this year's peach raspberry cobbler. I didn't get to eat all the treats.
I am going to give everyone a 1-sentence thought bubble of what is going through their head right now as we roll initiative. And I will explain how to roll initiative in just a moment. Start with Bior.
Yeah, Beer's like, oh well.
Oh, I love.
I'm going to haunt you.
Fight for BR!
I'm going to haunt you. You.
The day when BR rolls anger.
Eklund.
What did I do?
I don't have a pebble big enough to smush this.
And Cordelia.
Does it like music?
Okay, now I'm gonna have everyone roll initiative, and what you have to do is roll your joy. And it just goes in highest to lowest. I also have to roll 4.
Okay. So I have a mood with
Yes.
joy.
Yes, which means you have a +1 to whatever number it is that you roll.
Okay. +1 dice or +1 number?
+1 number.
Okay.
Do we get mood tokens for rolling a 6 in initiative?
Yes.
I just got one.
I actually don't know if that's officially in the rules.
Oh.
But
I don't
I
remember.
am letting you because I want people to have mood tokens. So, what we've got is Eklund with a 7, but gets a mood token for joy. Colette with a 10, Cordelia with a 16 also gets a mood token. Bior, ooh, has a 4. And Glenn has a 12. Alright. So, what this means is that actually Cordelia gets to act before creature.
Am I the only one who acts before the creature?
Find out in game.
Well,
So just a quick go through of action types during a round in combat. You can do a move action, which we are doing theater of the mind, so we don't need to measure everything out. In place of a move action, you can take an evade instead. You do a regular action, which is, attack, hide, etc. And then there are reflexive actions, which mostly we'll be getting into later once everyone has callings. Also, reflexive actions are also shouting something very quickly. Like, not a whole conversation and not a back and forth, but you can shout out a couple of words to somebody as a reflexive action. So those are the three things you can do in a round during combat. And actually, I think it's a fun note that as a result of this initiative roll, every single person now has a mood marker.
Ooh.
For joy. Alright, so it is Cordelia's go.
Can I see Glenn? Does Glenn look big and scary, or comparatively big and tough?
Yeah, you all kind of like skidded up to this edge of where the raspberry grove meets the little gorge area, quarry, and then the edge of the tree line is in front of all of you. So it's kind of like you all just, in movie moment, slid up. Glenn's right there. There's 5 of you up against this creature.
Gonna ask, is it possible for me to jolt but try and get its attention while I'm running? Like try in front of it and try and get its attention away from Colette, or would that be a different action?
No, I think that is because, movement and a regular action. This is a very forgiving, narrative-friendly system, and I really think that you explaining that you want to make a run and a jolt is fair game to me. So, you've got to roll joy again, and you have that +1 to what you roll, because you've got the mood token.
It's gonna be a 12. So, yeah.
Oh, that's success. 5, 5, 1. All right. Yes. So, can you describe how Cordelia does this sort of epic, bounding, distract jump thing?
Okay. I'm imagining she does one of those very quick scan the situation sort of thing. So she just sees well, I don't know how well Cordelia actually knows Colette, but in Cordelia's mind, it's, oh no, friend is gonna get hurt. Oh man, it's gonna be bad. Okay, loud noise, then run. And so runs in front of, or runs past the creature, does a little, drops an instrument, so it makes the really loud, awkward quang kind of sound that a string instrument makes when it crashes on the ground, and then is just skittering away and just holding onto the strap and trying to keep it tight across her. And there's probably a split second as she's trying to run where she's fiddling with it, and she almost forgets there's a scary creature nearby. She's like, wait, but I have to make sure this thing doesn't fall. Yeah, that's how I imagine it.
Yeah, so this creature, who is, like I had said before, hunched down, glaring at Colette, definitely kind of loses its sense of focus on Colette and is just kind of a little befuddled at what just happened in front of it. Is that all of your turn?
The only other thing would be just saying to everyone, run. That's about it. That's my turn.
Okay. So the creature, I'm going to say, actually has like a little bit of a negative because of that distract action, and is going to look around and try to find a target for its ire. And as it is focusing around, its eyes then, I'm sorry,
No.
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 fall upon the largest creature in this line, and it locks eyes now with Glenn, and it takes its movement to start. It doesn't really do anything fast right now. It's doing this kind of like slinking walk towards you now. It doesn't get to you, but its eyes are just like locked with yours, and it's stalking you. Yeah. And it's Glenn's turn.
Glenn screams and runs. I would like to scream and run. He cannot stand up to this particular larger creature. A nerd, by all means. Corduroy, no problem.
Oh, Corduroy.
Should I roll fear?
Yes, if you think that this is more of a screaming, hiding, escape rather than a cowering, then yes, I would roll fear. Because that's what grief is for, is to cower and make yourself seem like you're not a good target anymore. But it does sound like there's a little bit more activity going on in your
Yeah, my,
attempts here.
I gotta, energy. Glenn has energy. He has to put it into something, even if it's running away.
Yeah, so I feel like this will definitely be a fear check.
All right. To hold or not to hold? I will not hold. I got a 6.
Oh, great. So this is now, I have to get my fear color. You have 2 mood tokens. One is joy and one is fear.
Good hit.
And people can have a maximum of 3 mood tokens
Oh, excellent.
as well. Yes, so you are absolutely able to scream and get out of the line of sight of this creature. Where do you end up moving ultimately? Because you can go back down into the gorge, or you can sort of start diving towards the tree line, or back towards the raspberry field.
I yell to everyone, get to the gorge! It can't climb being so big! I think!
Oh dear.
We'll never make it to the festival! We gotta hide!
So we'll get back to Colette, who was just a moment ago about to get pounced on by this creature, and now you can go.
Is it my turn in the...
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm like... Oh, do I see... And the cat... Or creature is away? Is just...
It is a little discombobulated. It is looking in the direction of where Glenn was a moment ago.
Okay, do I see Cordelia?
Yes. Cordelia
I'm not hiding.
is
I'm
not
just
hiding. Cordelia is booking it, flailing off away.
I want to run to Cordelia, grab her, and go, "Come on, we gotta hide!" And I'm not sure what's around the rock quarry, but just try to get to cover with her.
Yeah, you can roll a fear check to hide.
Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh boy. Can't hold. Huh? Oh, mood. Moods are specific to each emotion.
Yeah, you have a joy mood right now, but
Got
not
it.
a fear mood.
Okay.
You're about to have a fear mood.
Oh, yes, I am.
You. All right. So, you definitely have now collected a fear mood. You feel a spike of fear. However, it does kind of manifest, and you get just a little bit sloppy. You see a couple of spots where you might hide, but in your, fervor to grab Cordelia, you don't quite make it behind anything, and you realize that you have angled yourself in such a way that the creature could definitely still see your floof sticking up from behind this rock.
Oh, curse my floof. And that is my turn.
Get it together, Ren. You're not supposed to keep squeaking at your players. All right. And Icklin, it is now your turn after all of that has just occurred.
Okay, are there any, bushes nearby?
Your back is to the raspberry bushes. So you could, within one turn, get, dart, if that's all you do is, dart all the way back to the raspberry bushes.
Well, okay. Here's my idea. I'm not sure what role this would be. Icklin kind of wants to go in the bush and shake it like there's something there to distract the cat or the creature.
Okay, that is
Nice.
very smart. I need to figure out how to roll that.
Yeah, that was my concern.
I like it.
Really hoping this episode doesn't turn out to just be retitled "Live by the Raspberry, Die by the Raspberry." I'm just hoping that's not going to be the case for us.
Let me executive decision look at your sheet and say you are doing this action out of a desire to protect the other people.
Mhm.
So I want you to roll love.
Okay. Holding nothing back. Oh, go. I got a 7.
You got a 7. Excellent. So you dive into a raspberry bush, and you, with all of your hopeful, optimistic, I'm gonna protect them might, you shake this raspberry bush, and there's raspberries just... Hold on, what did we call them? Something tart berries?
Sour puck berries.
Sour puck
Sour puck.
tart berries start falling on the ground around you. And after all of this chaos has just occurred in just a couple second span, go to Bior.
So is Bior the only one out in the open now?
Ish. Yes. Colette and Cordelia are slightly hidden.
Okay.
And Glenn just dove down into the quarry.
And Icklin's in a bush, right?
Yes.
So Bior looks around, he's like, yeah, that seems about right. And just starts crying.
So you're rolling weep?
Yeah.
Alright.
I'm going to...
Oh,
Well,
wow, you're breaking my heart. Okay.
Is that grief? Or
Yes, grief.
I'm gonna hold 1. I just put in 1, right?
And you have to beat it. It's just a regular grief roll.
Okay. Well, I held 1 and I got a 7.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize you had already rolled. I thought you were... You held one.
Mhm.
Not a 7, so that's extra oof. So I kind of want you to describe for us this sight of Bior just plunking themselves down on the ground and looking very miserable.
Just kind of double resign. It's like, mm.
It hurts!
Yep. I have feelings. How dare. Oh, alright. So,
I want my turn. I have to come back.
that said, the scene as it is playing out at this very moment is a shaking raspberry bush, 2 hiding little fluff balls with white fluff emanating out from behind a rock. Big tough guy, Michtim. I'm just like imagining him wearing the same muscle shirt that you are right now. It's just my headcanon at this point.
I just imagine Glenn as like I've just slowly been headcanning each of us as a Michtim version of the Breakfast Club members, and that Glenn is just the one wearing the leather jacket.
Oh, my heart. Okay, yes. It is doing a kind of fancy dive down into the gorge, and Bior is sitting on the ground, sobbing. The creature is sort of aiming in the direction of the gorge, and there is a fluttering off in the distance as we go back to Cordelia's turn.
Okay, friend is crying. Friend should not have to deal with crying and being sad, so Cordelia, against all of her better judgment, is gonna try and figure out a way to help me. Or before that, could I possibly roll to do detect to see if there's anything in our surroundings that might be remotely helpful with what's going on? Like either to scare it away or to even just pick up on what mood this creature has in terms of like, what does it want?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
So fine. And you get a +1 to whatever because you've got the joy.
I am going to spend actually.
You're gonna spend it to get
get an additional dice, but I'm going to hold 1 to try and get a better effect. So it'll still be just 3d.
Okay. Perfect.
So when I input that, so I input hold 1
Mm-hmm.
and no to mood, 0 on mood now, or do I put 1 on mood?
Yeah,
or...
0 on mood.
Okay, 0 on mood. So we'll see what happens, everybody. Nope, it's not enough. Oh wait, it only rolled 2d6.
Oh.
I could roll another d6 and add that to the total. That way it has the 3.
Yeah.
Do you held one, right? Or no?
Well, I held 1, but I spent another one, so I'd still have another d6.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh, I see. Yeah, we
that's
shouldn't
just
have said
enough.
that you held one.
That's a
We should've-
7.
Yeah.
That's just enough.
Math.
Ah.
Okay, so you are looking out into this situation, and there's just enough time that you're hiding behind this rock, and you're seeing that its attention is not on you, and it's not really actually on anyone in this moment. And in the small amount of time that you've known this creature, you feel like it just seems to focus its attention just on whatever is annoying it or making motion. So in the couple of seconds you have to think about this, you see a number of pebbles in reach. That could be useful. You also see the bird is sort of leaping away, and you could call out to him. You also maybe could just try to convince everyone to just hide and stay quiet and it'll go away. You've got a number of options at your disposal.
I've had a terrible idea come to my head because you said it goes for whatever's the most annoying. Can I jolt and try and land on its back? With all my instruments clanging, it's probably going to make a lot of noise and bother it. So it'll probably not want to bother Bior if it has a loud thing on its back.
This is absolutely something you can do. It is within distance of you, and because detect is a reflexive action, that fell under that, so you still have a movement and an action. This is absolutely something you can do. You no longer have your +1 to joy.
Oh, nope. It's gonna be fine, everybody. It's gonna be fine. I knew you well. I love you all. Oh, Jesus.
Ooh, and that's also another 6, so
that works.
you re-got your joy mood.
Daredevil.
You were experiencing these happy joy feelings. Okay, might be the only one ultimate to other weapons.
Oh, I totally
yes.
got that.
So, you with your instruments on your back manage to do this. Would you like to describe the clamor that you have just created?
So I imagine she once again just like evaluates the situation, sees the bird going off, and is like, maybe not, but more than likely just notices Bior being sad and crying on the ground, and is like, no, friends, I will help friends. I will help friends. This is a bad idea. This is a bad idea. This is a bad idea, and just starts running, like is saying that repeatedly in her head, initially under her breath quietly, and then as she like makes the jump to like hop onto the creature's back, like right as she's about to land and she actually fully mentally processes what she's doing, it starts being said louder and louder and just out loud, like, this is a bad idea. Everyone please run while I make noise. And I'm just like, I untighten the strap slightly so it's just clanging around on my back.
And yeah, you absolutely get this action off. You leap to this fuzzy creature. You grab onto it's been kind of like leaning down, so it's very easy to jump up onto it and clutch on. It yowls and kind of rears up. And I'm gonna take this moment to thank Potato Hallow for following the channel. Thank you, Gwen.
Thank you for following right before I die.
Oh, great. Also, Wild Engineer just followed.
Oh, subscribed rather.
Oh, subscribed.
Yo.
Oh. Well, Wild Engineer, would you like to give a mood token to one of your fellow players? And an emotion of your choice.
Let's give it to Cordelia for jumping. And
Do you want that to be joy or fear?
Evade is a fear emotion, I might say.
I'd say... Okay, fear. I mean, I was gonna say anger, but if you want fear.
You don't want me to be the one rolling anger. I have a 1 in anger. Cordelia's not an angry person.
We'll give Cordelia some of that sweet adrenaline. Give Cordelia a fear marker.
It's less a fear of God in this instance, fear of a feline.
And it is back to the aforementioned feline's turn, which is going to yowl in horror, trying to get this thing off of it. So I'm actually gonna roll an anger for this cat. More just to like do like a really angry shake off of Cordelia. Yeah, so the cat yowls and rears actually up on its hind legs and just flings Cordelia off of it. I am going to roll damage. It doesn't attack you personally, but you just got flung, so it's gonna be fall damage, basically. You're gonna take 3 damage as the cat flings you really hard. Actually, you fall into a tree, kind of slide down it. Ow.
Is it like full like George of the Jungle kind of effect where I'm just like, oh,
It
this
can be.
hurts a lot.
Absolutely. And are back to Glenn.
Well, seeing such a bold display, Glenn will not be outdone. But he did just hear that yowl, and an idea catches up to him. So this gorge, is it possible to make it echo?
Possibly. What do you have with you that could produce an echo?
My powerful voice. I could try to imitate the ferocious yowl that it just did to try to trick it into thinking there is a more harrowing danger on the way.
All right. I think probably have you do an anger for this.
Yes. Glenn pulls himself into a little ball, just breathes in deeply. I'm gonna hold one.
I have an important question. Does Glenn also, while doing so, raise his fist up in the air and put his head down? Does he also make that gesture?
The urge to say yes. Ooh. I got 10?
That is a 10, and you held one. So you don't even know if you had it in you to replicate the sound that this creature made, but there's just a lot going on. And you find it in you somewhere, and you make a guttural, horrible, screeching noise, and you actually do manage to aim it just right that it echoes in this gorge. And do you move after that, or do you just stay in that spot?
Peek my head out to see if it worked.
Yeah, if you sort of peek your head up above the gorge, you know, one hand lift up, and what you see directly in front of you is the creature staring in your direction. We'll go back to Colette. From your vantage point, you can now see Glenn and the creature face to face. Cordelia just got in this fit of bravery, but then flung. And
I got yeeted by a cat is the best way
Fior
of
is
putting
right
it.
there, crying, and there's the shaking raspberry bush off a little bit into the distance.
Oh no, oh no. Friend crying, friend hurt. Someone with the creature yelling. Am I closer to, I feel like I'm closer to Bior. Right now, I don't know where I'm at in the grand scheme of things.
I've been trying to mentally keep track of this.
Yeah.
I actually think that the cat and Glenn are between you hidden behind the rocks, and Bior.
Oh, okay.
Like you're on the other side of Raspberry Land.
Okay, got it. And
The gorge.
yeah, I kind of just want to go to the closest friend. So am I still close to Cordelia?
You could get over to Cordelia, who is slumped in a pile at the base of a tree.
Oh no, oh no. And I fast waddle to her. Cordelia, are you okay? And I'm just I don't know what I can do.
If you are trying to sort of help Cordelia up or assess damage, this would be a love roll.
Yeah, I just want to make
love
sure.
Is sort of the healing attribute, basically.
Yeah, I kind of want to see how they're doing and see if there's anything, if I can move her or something. Yeah, I'll just roll for love. Yeah, let's go all out on this one. Wait. No. No. Whee!
Nice. One of those is a 6.
Oh, yay. One for love.
So you are now maxed out on moods.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Full of joy. You are full of fear, and you are full of love.
So many emotions.
But yes, you are successful, and while Cordelia is not knocked out, she's definitely dazed, but you know enough to sort of prop her back up, and you are sort of applying a little bit of pressure to some areas that you see. There's some bleeding.
No.
And
Just overhear Cordelia in a
Roll.
very dazed voice just saying, like, canines and incisors and cat's claws and scratchy paws. These are a few of my favorite things.
And you take a little bit of time to try to help Cordelia out. You actually rolled one more d6 for healing.
Okay. Is that for an emotion or?
Just roll a straight d6 in roll 20.
Cool. I forgot the code.
Okay. So yeah, that would be 4 wound points of healing against that particular wound, which that was a 3-point wound, so you can mark that off, Cordelia, as being prepared. And
Is it does damage track to wounds first and then to health, or how does that pair out?
the way that the damage system works is kind of interesting, where the reason why on your character sheet you have so many different categories for wounds is that each wound is its own thing that needs to get healed.
Oh, okay.
So if you had been, flung and had that fall damage and then sliced and had, a different set of, slicing damage, then Colette could have chosen to heal one of those things at a time.
Oh, interesting.
Especially because there will be some types of damage that are different types of damage that we'll be getting into more of as we progress with more advanced rules. So, we're back to Iklin.
My plan did not work.
Neither did mine!
I know. Have we decided if the sour bush is thorny?
Ooh.
Decide right now.
I'm gonna say yes. Because narratively. Well,
narratively, it would work.
yes. Well, and when I mentioned earlier that Iklin is larger, I'm thinking like Gwendolyn Christie. So like, she's not as strong looking as Glenn, but she could probably, that's probably why she got handed boxes.
Okay.
So come barreling out of the bush and breaking a branch off to whack at the back end of the cat.
Absolutely. That's wonderful. Please roll me an anger. And also just describe, like, are you making noise? Are you just like screaming at this creature?
Yeah, I think I apologize. I cannot scream right now.
It's fine. I'm also not doing any screaming, so.
It's more the other side of my wall is my roommate's bedroom.
Oh.
Otherwise, I would yell. Yeah, but yes, so she's got this branch that she used her body weight to break coming out of the bush. So it's probably like half the length of her body. And he's just wielding it like a bat. Just running across the way, screaming like a crazy Highlander. He goes to whack the back of the cat's butt. But let's see if my roll, that was 7. Oh god.
All right. You smash this cat with raspberry thorns, please. Roll a d6 for damage.
Okay. I think I remember how to do that. Roll 20.
This was like slash roll.
Nope.
Oh.
God. I know these
yeah,
things.
Dash roll.
Sorry,
D6.
it's been a minute since I've been in
So
there.
that's a 4. Or you could roll your own if you.
I will let you. I'll do that. That works.
Yeah, so you smash this thorn into this cat and it just screeches. And you can see blood coming out of the wound where you impaled it with the thorn. And do you do anything else?
I'm trying to see if I can catch Glenn's. I can just run. Now.
And we'll go back to Bior.
I think Bior sees all this happening. I can talk as a reaction, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Like a couple lines of talking is a reactive action, which is kind of like a bonus action if we're talking about D&D terms.
Sure. Can Bior walk over to the cat, yank its tail a bit and be like, "Can you not attack my friends?" And also do a weep action.
Yes. So the way weeping works is that you
Right. If it attacks me, it deals less damage.
Yeah, but so weeping means forfeiting all hostile actions for a round. So you are okay. Yes, I see how this makes sense because the description says begging the foe to stop being so mean. Absolutely. So please roll your grief.
I'm going to hold one. And let's see.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I got a 6.
And you've got grief. Good grief.
Good grief.
Alright. And yeah, you pull the cat's tail. And then I kind of feel like it's like if we were watching the movie, the camera would just pan to Bior's face and it would be like sad face, like stop being so mean. And like, sad music swells up. And the cat just kind of looks at you As Cordelia is crumpled at the base of a tree with Colette tending her wounds, Icklin and Bior are facing down this cat. Glenn is still at the edge of this gorge, assessing this whole situation, and the cat has become extremely exhausted with this hunt. Elsie! And we are out of combat rounds. You hear this voice cut out. Very loud, booming, feminine voice. And you look up, and you see two figures coming in the direction of this whole kerfluffle. One figure, very tall. You are trained from a young age to understand about the humans. So this is definitely a human figure that is wearing just yellow, just this big fluffy yellow garment. And then another human who is wearing a very similar garment, but it is pink. And they are both striding towards the cat. Elsie, what are you doing? What do you have there? And the cat looks up. Darling, what did your pet do? What does it have? The two humans are going back and forth. I don't know. What is that? Elsie, what do you have? And the cat kind of slinks away. And the cat like has this like guilty look, looks up at the people. Squeak, squeak. How do you all react to this new human interaction?
Iceland drops a stick, first off. I think Iceland kind of joins Bior on the ground, trying to look cute and terrified.
I'm like trying to cover Cordelia, but at the same time, I'm like, what is that?
And you all know, from school and from your parents, that when confronted with humans, which you really shouldn't ever be all that often, that if you become very unassuming and kind of do, systemize the grief check, then the magic that surrounds the Michtim, their eyes will just kind of glaze over you. So you're not that worried. The human in yellow is sort of just scanning over the situation. The human in pink kind of glances down, like almost sees Icklin for a moment, and then just focuses her attention on the cat. The one in yellow is still doing a little bit of a scan. And Colette, you, in your curiosity, you don't really bother to be unassuming. And the one in yellow kind of strides over to you. What are you, little thing? Harriet, look at this! And before you can even react, you are now scooped up into the human's hands. And then you are shunted over to the other human. Harriet, look! I don't know what it is. It's not a mouse. It's adorable. Can we keep it?
I bite them!
you try to bite the person? All right, so you're gonna launch the yellow person or the pink person?
The one that is currently holding one of the precious Michtim.
All right, roll me an anger. Is anybody else at this point going to engage with Glenn for this, or just watch it all go down, trying to continue to be unassuming?
I don't think it'll work, but I think BR just might throw one of the sour pucks.
Oh yeah. Drive them off! I'm gonna hold 2!
Okay. What do we got here?
Ah! Needed a 7.
How's the sun treating you over there, Icarus?
Oh no. All right.
I go right for their shoelaces.
You absolutely are angry. This is, how dare this human pick up a what? And you go to launch at them, but you're on the edge of this gorge, and your hand actually kind of slips on some of the rocks, and you tumble down into the gully.
I go from
Darling, look! You already don't take care of your cat. Yes, but I'll take care of this. It's small. I could keep it in the barn.
It's just making you cuter. If you cry anymore, you'll be cuter.
And you see the human in the pink dress sort of pause. I suppose I would be a terrible wife if I didn't spoil you now and then. But you've got to keep it in the barn. Build it some sort of pen or something. Don't let it run free like your vomit over here.
Question: Do Michtim? Do we understand humans?
Yes.
Okay.
And you're just in.
Art.
And so the yellow dressed human actually just kind of like pulls up parts of her skirt and folds you up into them, like kind of pulling them up like a little like apron. You know how like you're gathering berries in your skirt, and you are now stuck in this human's dress. Cordelia?
I was gonna ask if I could do something to try and get their attention.
If you'd like to.
Help provide distraction. I know I'm not actually a bard yet. It's just the thing I aspire to. But can I don't know what I would play if I wanted to try and do music. Like, it's not, I know it's a bard skill to like try and do a performance, but would it be possible to try and get their attention some way with joy by trying to sing something? Or like just moving out in front of them and like trying to get their attention while like maybe like every now and then punctuating the song, like bits of the song with like Colette, run, hide, or just like try and give them an out to like a distraction.
Yeah,
for me, because I can run.
Roll a jolt.
I kind of peer over the rim part of the dress and just trying to see where everyone else is.
Okay, I am going to, because I have a joy token, I normally have 3, I'm going to hold 1, but I'm also going to spend a token, so I just rolled a normal 3.
Oh, what was it to throw the berry?
Oh right, there was so much going on.
Shit, yeah. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No worries.
That's technically, I feel like, an attack, so roll an anger.
Oh yeah, only 1 dice. It's gonna go bad.
See the berry just kind of plunk off. Actually, the cat. and it kind of just like it's in the hands of the woman in pink, and it just kind of looks down at you and goes.
All right, gamble pays off. That's an 11, so I spent 1, but I get it immediately back because I also rolled a 6 again. I am always with joy.
Okay, so you're playing one of your instruments?
I'm gonna just like get up from my day state, move over outside of the like I mentioned because I hit a tree, like there's bushes and stuff, and just pull out like tiny little guitar, and I will just look up at both of them, and I go, "Hey, you with the pretty face, welcome, human race. It's a celebration. Mr. Blue Skies on his way."
So you play this music,
Cordelia,
and
no.
while
Run!
Michtim can understand the humans, what the human hears is, slightly melodic. Yay, me. Slightly melodic squeaking. And so the one in yellow. Is that another one?
Damn it.
Oh no!
And then the one in pink kind of grabs her by the arm. Darling, no, just one is enough.
Climb down.
We've
Can I
got
try to
Elsie.
scurry?
Let's go.
Can I try to scurry out of the jump over the dress or something to
You
scurry?
are already so wrapped up at this point, and she's clutching you,
Ah,
and they
ah, ah.
are walking away. And their strides are obviously like much larger than yours.
Oh no!
So it actually takes very little time for the four of you to just be alone at this point in the Raspberry Grove / Glen down at the bottom of the gorge / Colette thumping around in some skirts.
I yell out to everyone, tell my popses I love them!
And you hear that very faintly.
We'll find you. Oh my gosh.
And all four of you are alone.
Glenn just screams with a mix of agony and frustration. Get me out! Get me out of the gorge! We have to make the festival stop! We need everybody to go get them!
Okay. Okay. Iceland will scurry over, tears still in her eyes, and reach down to help Glenn out.
As you're all collecting each other from the other side of the tree line, the bird comes out. It is very bloody and it is kind of limping.
Thank you so much for saving me.
Do you know where that thing came from?
Then do. The humans started building further and further out from the city. And they've got that thing. It already took some of my kids.
Its keepers took our friend.
I'm sorry.
Can
Do
you
you-
lead us to
Do
it?
you, yeah, do you know where they live?
I mean, yeah, everyone knows where they live. They're horrible.
They said something about a barn.
Yeah.
It's like kind of like going in and out. It's, woozy.
Um,
Can Beor
Can-
just walk up and try to heal it a bit?
Yeah. Gotta roll some love.
I will also roll love.
we're all like, let's love the bird so the bird can help us.
No, I have one love. I'm gonna shake it. Take us to her!
Oh,
No, I don't. No, oh my god.
Now you can see, as you all are trying to help this bird out, yes, Cordelia. Actually, yeah, everyone that just rolled a low. Yeah, you are able to heal it a little bit, but one of its wings is definitely broken.
Yes. I mean, I could take you there, but I don't think I can fly right now. Do you have somewhere where I can go rest up?
At our village.
Yeah, and you know that there are definitely sort of branches of the Keepers of the Woods that help out injured wildlife, and you can bring it to one of them.
Yeah. Our burrow can help.
I'll help you find your friend when I can.
Okay.
And it kind of passes out.
I pick it up.
You head back to the village.
Reluctantly.
Would it be possible for Beor to try and follow the human tracks?
Definitely can. I am gonna say we have 10 minutes left. So I was gonna kind of filter the story away here. If you want the rest of them to help bring the bird back to the village, and you, I would like you to roll me. Let's figure out how to do this. Roll me a joy to detect, and then you can sort of mental note the direction past the raspberry bushes of where the humans went.
Okay. 2 6s.
Ooh. So, here's what I'm gonna tell you. Beor. Usually, the mood markers are only there for the session that you're in. You just got 2 6s in a row, so I'm going to bank you a mood marker for next time. And you definitely can, grab yourself a little piece of the leaf and kind of sketch out the direction that you know they were going in. And
Could I also try and do something as we're heading back to the village?
Yeah.
Could I go and find Beor's basket that I imagine the berries were in and try and gather up the last bits so that it's at least full so that their mom is going to be happy with it?
Yeah, I'm gonna let you do that for free because you've got some joy banked, and I think that's adorable. So you all are gonna start heading back to the village with a basket of berries, a passed out injured bird, and some directions on a leaf. 4 of you. Heading back to Thistle Burrow. And I want to know, the 4 of you that are heading back to Thistle Burrow, I want to know how much you tell everyone else and how the rest of your day goes.
Eklund's kind of a wreck, but she'll tell them what happened. Like all of it, from the wandering off just to kill time until the festival starts, to the creature attacking the bird, and then the people taking Colette, and the bird being able to help them, but it needs to heal. All amidst sobs, like in the way that somebody much younger than her age would tell a story like that.
Yeah.
And apologizing for not doing more because she feels like this is her fault. It's not, but you know.
And everyone is definitely very interested in what happened, very sad about it, and but you kind of get this sense that there's like this resignation that when, you know, the humans are involved, it's kind of a little bit of a loss. And you don't really know how to cope with that feeling that you're getting from them. Let's go to Glenn.
Glenn puts down his one goal to win the tug of war contest in order to kind of like stalk the stalls and wares of the festival to find the closest thing to a weapon that he can. And then, after he succeeds or does not succeed in that endeavor, he tries to find every letter, every mention of a map, landmarks that his sister, who is a well-renowned traveler, has ever made that can be useful to him, especially about the human city or in human dwellings, in preparation for what is to come.
And you were the primary carrier of the bird, so do you bring the bird to the healers?
Yes, I do.
Alright, they tell you that they will keep you posted. And you're able to find this material. We can actually talk about what materials you gather between games.
Scurry back to my home. I get as many sunflower seeds as I can, and I bring it to the bird.
Alright. Bird has not woken up as of today.
Then I sit by it until it does.
Cordelia.
I think Cordelia would be, well, anxious. I feel like she would take the approach of being super jittery and anxious, trying to get up the courage to talk to her parents. And I'm sort of imagining it as one of those moments where it's like, well, honey, if it's not that big a deal, we'll get to it later. And like having to like puff up the courage to be like eventually like saying it like very loudly, like while there's a hubbub going on. She's like, my friend got taken away, and I think we're gonna have to do something to try and find them. Okay? I am not gonna believe that they're gone just yet, regardless of what anyone else says. And I know that we're gonna go and find them, and I'm gonna bring them a bunch of treats, and I'm gonna show them my new song that I'm very proud of, and I'm gonna make sure that they're okay, and they get to enjoy a whole bunch of sweets. And then I kinda imagine she tries to keep a relatively positive face, and her actual mood is more displayed when she's alone.
Okay.
Like in her room.
Based on that, I think that probably they're gonna think that you're doing a lot better than you are. And they're gonna, you know, talk to you about your feelings a little bit, but, you know, since you're hiding it pretty well, you know, they're not gonna pry too hard. You know, they probably have someone come talk to you about grief. Because again, you know, they are probably also thinking, oh, humans were involved. That's, you know. So yeah, we'll go to Eeyore.
Yeah. Beers probably hold themselves up in their room. Maybe laying down on the floor, partially looking out the window, also looking at the leaf map, just sighing and eating puckberries.
Yeah, and your mom is very, very happy about the berries that you brought back. So focused on the baking that doesn't actually seem to take too much notice that you hole up in your room. And she does end up winning the competition. And then leaves you a big slice of the winning pie at your door. As the sun starts to set on the festival, the town is very excited and happy and making merry. The four of you are doing all of these actions and making plans.
Can I add something quick?
Yes, absolutely.
I think after a bit, like once noticing the adults don't really seem to want to do anything, Icklin's going to go find Glenn. And they both kind of just end up by the bird because that's the first place she would look. And just kind of sits down next to him. We're gonna get them back, right? At least gonna try.
I'm not going to try. I'm going to do it.
I'm going with you.
For sure.
You do know that some of the musical acts for the evening have canceled. So not everyone is ambivalent or resigned. But... And as the sun is setting on this spring day, we're just going to turn real quick to a barn where a little white puffball is now sitting in a very makeshift, it's like an old kind of bird cage, like the very old-fashioned oval-topped, flat-bottom bird cage. And your two captors, Harriet and Georgina, who had put you in there, cooed over you for a little bit. Georgina clearly more than Harriet. She just kind of looked at you like, sure. And then, you know, as it started to get dark, they scurried away. And they shut off the light, and you're just in a dark barn. But at a certain point, actually, you see some candlelight come in. And another human walks into this barn wearing a very elegant sort of green gown. The hair is gray. Holding a candle, looking at you. What did my idiot daughter do? Sorry, little Michtim. We'll sort this out. Just don't worry. And she exits, but she leaves the candle sort of on so that she doesn't leave you in the darkness. And that's the end of spring. Episode 1.
Whew.
Woof.
And here is where I will first check in with all of my players, because I absolutely started with happiness and ended with tragedy. So, I hope everyone is fine. I hope everyone in chat is fine.
Whew.
I'm pumped.
Thank you. Thank you to everyone who showed up, hung out in chat, followed, subbed, hosted, rated, or were, just here being awesome. I saw a number of names that I recognized go by, but I was, DM brain, so. Absolutely, please remember to check out the Welcome to the Party Discord, Patreon. There's awesome merch too for the channel on So Nerdware. Let's go around real quick with a goodbye from everyone and a reminder of where they can be found on the internet. We'll actually back it. No, we'll go in the same order. I'm gonna start with BR Wild.
Yes, hi, I'm Wild Engineer. I'm at Wild Engineer on Twitter. You can find me on Welcome to the Party, I guess, for 3 days now. Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays. Thursdays and Fridays. A bunch of different games. Tuesdays I'm on Greyhawk channel, and Fridays on Other Duck. So, hey, that's where I'm at. That was a lot of fun. Thank you, Ren. So many emotions.
I know. I have feelings. Steph.
Hi.
I'm sorry.
It's all good emotions. I'm an emoter. But hi, I'm Steph. You can find me on Twitter at Steph_Bard. This is one of the 2 things that I do, I guess now. This is my first time on Welcome to the Party, and I'm so happy to be playing with Ren again, because I missed them. And those ears? Oh.
Oh yeah, sorry, this is some flashback Steph and I ear action.
But I also play on the Experience Points Twitch channel and the podcast that the podcast releases every Wednesday, which is the podcast of our streams from every other Saturday. The crew's going to be streaming this Saturday, but I will actually be over at GameholeCon, so if anyone in chat is there, come say hi. Yeah, I had great fun. I cannot wait to see what happens next. Because, oh my goodness.
Hi, my name's Four, and I like playing characters that have lots of feelings. Thankfully, most of those feelings were angry for this horrible thing that has befallen us. Ren, it's so good to play with you again. I missed you.
I missed you too.
Yeah, you look great, and I'm really pleased at this opportunity to play with the rest of you. It was very fun. Be prepared. Glenn will have something to hit cats with, so be aware. Icklin, we're gonna make you a dangerous creature.
It's fine. Next time we're gonna have callings and some gear.
I am Four, and you can find me on the Forefront on Twitter. You can also, on that Twitter, look at my pinned tweet, and you can find Morphs in the Dark, which is an Animorphs hack of Blades in the Dark, if you want to geek out about that, that shenanigans. I'm also working on it's a original system for tabletop RPGs that sort of evokes the same feelings that Twilight Zone really brings out in you. Some little short one-shots that really give you a lot to crunch on for a long time afterwards. And that's me. That is I.
Angela.
Hello there, everybody. For those of you who caught us in the later half and didn't hear my introduction, I'm Angela, otherwise known as the Philosopheme on Patreon and in other spaces, or Phoenix24Fem on Twitter, where I have feelings and opinions and such, and talk about and react to different things, or try and share my commissions for tabletop role-playing game campaigns, because I've done a commission for a short shot for this channel before, and commissions are open, especially now that I'm recovering from a recent downfall. But yeah, I am the DM for Adventures in Agni, a homebrew all POC 5e campaign that happens on Saturday nights at 10:30 ET, 7:30 PT, PST. Pardon, let's forget the S in there. And yeah, I'm also in Let Sleeping Angels Lie in Here, where I am very, very grateful to have this wonderful group of people playing with us. And Ren, you're doing a fantastic job. I've heard so much positive things about you, and I'm glad to be having you as the GM for the ridiculosity. And I am great. My reaction is somewhere between, wow, is that what my players go through? Damn, this is great. And also, like, I'm imagining Cordelia probably goes through a phase of like making a Smith's version, Michtim's version of the Smiths to process the feelings from this.
Yes.
It's me.
I did say that there's some coming of age elements to this storyline.
The Smiths.
The goal is
Well, they're called the
growth.
Nutsmiths.
The
They're not
Nutsmiths.
Smiths,
Oh!
they're Nutsmiths.
All right, and Gemma.
Well, I was the white, fluffy, Moogle-ish Colette, but I am Gemma. I go by Kupo Knight around the gaming Discord and Twitter. You can find me at Kupo Knight. Kupo Knight is with a 0. And you can find me here on Welcome to the Channel. I stream on Saturday night, 7:30 p.m. PST, with Adventures in Agni with my DM, Angela, and it's all homebrew straight from her gorgeous, awesome mind. And I play a Furbolg monk. And yeah, Mondays, Sundays, well, off channels. I'm usually on the 3V. It's on hiatus right now, but it's the all POC one-shot channels. You can find me there. And I'll be here for a while for Ren's awesome campaign. Ren, I'm so glad to be able to play this game. Yeah, this is amazing. I didn't expect to have all that feels for just the first episode.
I do want to say, for full disclosure for everyone, Colette or Gemma did know that their character was going to be taken out of the game because they can't make next episode. We have a guest star coming in, but Colette will be back.
Yes, the guest, I know the guests, they're going to be great, but yes, it made me very sad that I have to miss one. So, but Colette will return, or will they? Yeah, that's me.
Don't make us wait for the Moogles' return more than we have to.
Moogles. Yes.
Yeah, we worked this out. I was like, I will finagle. I actually
Just move it.
I'm Ren. I go by Atomic Firebird. I'm gonna be doing this for the run of this short shot. Other than that, I'm gonna be doing some one-shots periodically for charity stuff on the Nerdsmith network. I've got this kind of animal theme thing going on. In a couple of weeks, I'm going to be doing, I don't know. Yes, I got it. The Warren, which is a kind of Watership Down inspired little quick game one shot on November 7th. I sometimes putter around the Scraticus Academy, and I'm usually yelling about my bird on Twitter. I'm very, very happy to finally be officially on Welcome to the Party. Oh, I guess we're gonna raid someone.
Oh.
Or you know how raid things?
Yes, we slash raid, and then we go to that raid, and we go, oh, Heather.
Do we have a raid cry for this particular?
We're gonna raid Scraticus, because why not?
Our raid cry is for the Moogle.
For the Kupo!
That's
for the Koopa.
There. Oh, it's working. All right. So sign up for that raid, and then we'll see you folks next
Thank you so much for
time.
coming.
Good night.
Everybody,
Get some
have a
rest.
wonderful evening.
Farewell.
gosh.
So many cats.
Night.
Didn't mean to make them a
There's
villain.
so many
except I
cats.
kinda did.
Why aren't you raiding?